through to a league final, job done. I suppose the game at the weekend, you already had promotion in the bag. So do you think that subconsciously impacted the performance?
Maybe slightly. It wasn't something we talked about before. It was more the performance in the bag and keeping man and going. But at least we're up for it and we're full value for the win, so can't complain.
Okay. In terms of getting back to Croke Park, how significant is it for this group of players, down group of players?
Yeah, it is. It's massive for us. Like, that's why you want to be playing your football coming business end. So, any chance to get to have a wee bit of experience and to get used to that wee bit more is vital. Like.
And I suppose people are, the fact that Kildare have been relegated, obviously there's an idiosyncrasy here now, and that it's the winning team in Croke Park this weekend is guaranteed to Sam Maguire. Does that bring its own pressure, expectation?
Oh, definitely, yeah. Look, I'd say the odds both camps lost on Wexford, and both teams want to be playing in the Sand Wire. That's where they want to be at. So, for definitely is that bit of pressure. And, hope to just good into the batter come next Saturday evening.
You had a fairly comfortable enough win against Wexford when you met earlier, but this was a final with everything on the line. It, it won't count for much, I presume.
Oh, obviously not. We probably just got a wee bit of looking around them that day as well. There was a massive wind in Wexford. The wing we used that wee bit better, but they were kind of provide that we're only a Saturday evening. Like, they obviously had a massive one yesterday over with me. We ducked the bike it over with me a couple of weeks ago, so there'll be very little between the teams of the next Saturday evening.
Just I think there were of the 32 teams playing yesterday, 26 of them had something on the line. The league, it's an incredible competition, isn't it?
It is definitely it really gives you a real barometer of where you're at before championship and what's going well and what's not going. So yeah, but really gives you a real good indication of where you're at before the championship.
And in terms of another thing that people are talking about is like we've seen enormous swings in matches, like teams with double-digit leads haven't been able to hang on to them. Like the way the game is being played now with the new rules, obviously, does that does that impact your mindset? Like knowing that you could be 10 points up, but it's almost like a hurling match now. It's not a given that a 10 point lead is a safe lead.
No, it's definitely not. Suppose it goes very quickly with the 2 pointers in the goals and nearly don't feel it getting away from yourself. I mean, by the time you realise it's there's only 2 or 3 points in it, like so. Suppose it's a matter of recognising it early, trying to sort of to calm it down, to get the wee string of momentum back going your way. But it's easier said than done. Like it's well documented now with the kicker. It's they're very hard to get hands on ball, but it's good to spend with players to take that responsibility and get the hands on ball and be able to get your momentum back going in your favour.
So that's a big part of your game. Are you enjoying that the physical battle in that middle eight? It's crowded, like, but it's a real it's where the game's really won now, isn't it?
It is, yeah, that. Suppose you don't see that many team catches, but one or two team catches can talk, or we're talking a lot about momentum again, but one or two team catches can really bring that momentum. So if you can get your team one or two, then it's a real big goal.
And even in terms of what you can see is the fact that you can't go back to the goalie. It's like kids in the schoolyard. The game of chasing that's going on now. It's hairy enough in the full back line. Lads have the ball. Is it that press is a huge part of it now, isn't it?
Definitely, your full forward line really need to be as good and one-on-one defender as anywhere now. So, yeah, it's massive. It's just another. Spooten didn't see it there for a couple of years for teams stopping off because there's no real benefit of pushing up on teams. So to see that, I think it's definitely a positive thing. And yeah, it really adds to the fact of
I know Conor Loughty made a big point last year about the age profile of this down squad and how it was really one for the long road. In that regard, how important is it that you get success early? Like, do you get a reward for the progress you're making?
definitely, yeah. I suppose we've maybe seen last year how far we can go and how far we think we can go. I suppose it's just trying to build them up again this year. It's trying to not let yourself go back and to be just at a standstill as opposed to keep building and building and building year on year. As you say, getting that wee trophy or getting wee bit of I suppose proof of where you're at and proof you're getting better would be a massive help on it. A win like that in Croke would be very beneficial to us as
Uh, What sort of a feeling was in the camp? I mean, your performance against Galway at the end. I know you'd be disappointed to be knocked out of the championship, but it was you got so many plaudits for how you played that day for the massive score that you kicked. Um, did that set you up nicely for this year going into the league?
yeah, they have to give everybody a little boost and falling back and seeing how close you were to go with the one of the top three things in the country. Like, but again, we didn't get over the line that day, and it's something there were still wee things that weren't doing well enough. But yeah, it definitely gives you a boost going back to pre-season, knowing that you're not too far away, and a couple of changes here and there, and you might be able to mix it with all of them.
And the fact that you're so you are on the cusp of the championship as well. Does that in the back of your minds now ahead of the weekend that that's only around the corner?
You're always thinking about jams that we've done in the first round, but our focus the last our focus this league campaign has literally been game by game, game by game. It's very cliched, but we were in no position to take our eye off the ball this year. Just trying to get one win after another and get into this league final. And that's one box ticked to this league final. It's a big game we've had in a long, long time. So just our focus right now is Saturday and nothing else.
The history of down football, Crow Park has more often than not been a happy hunting ground. Down teams enjoy playing in Crow Park.
Yeah, it's fairly well known for the running game and they have a history of that, but I suppose Cobart lends itself to that. Um so yeah, look, and they do have a good record in Cobart, but doesn't really count for much for us going into putting our Saturday evening. So we do our homework and get our prep right. And yeah, it's a King's Day for us and a King's Day for Wexford. So it's just who adapts the day and who we can deal with the pressure.
I'm talking to Owen Nolan earlier today. Like they're on a real high. When you win a tight game like that, it can really instill a lot of confidence in a group like Wexford. Like to have won in the manner that they did to clinch this, they're on a kind of bonus territory in a way. It makes them dangerous opposition for you.
Sadly, like, the back-to-back promotions there, and then whenever we were looking at them before the game a couple of weeks ago, the series that sort of a edge like a lot of 2 point shooters. They're very very dangerous. Like and they've a lot of I suppose that mix of experience along with youth as well. There's quite a good mix of both. So yeah, it's again it's just going to be a matter of getting our prep done, getting our individual work done, and seeing how we go.
How are you enjoying the whole 2 pointer thing? You know, like the extra homework that players have to do. You know, to be able to get those shots off.
Yeah, it is massive. Again, we're talking about momentum. 1 2 pointer can be a massive swing either way. Like so, yeah, as you say, it's seeing the opposition teams who can kick them, what cup they are going to kick off both, and then the pros in our team as well. It's how can we get our 2 point shooters on the ball? How can we create the space for them so that they're able to get them off? And yeah, I suppose it's massive now. You have to have boys that can kick them to win. Like so, yeah, it is a massive factor.
And tell me your AFL experience. Your that was a huge part of your development as a young player. Has it stood to you that being involved in that kind of experience?
I don't know. Suppose whenever we were only over in the weekend days with a group of four of us, so things that they operate and seeing a ladder of professionalism was definitely it's something you kick back home with you, like for sure. So yeah, I suppose it's maybe their lifestyle and all how they land itself, how they land themselves, who their sport and how committed they are would be definitely something you can wrong with.
Having said that, I suppose what you often hear is like there's not that big of a gap in terms of what top level Gaelic footballers like yourselves are playing at in the AFL. It's easy to see why so many of our lads have made the transition.
Definitely, like is it's playing football now is nearly it's a lifestyle. Like you have to work around it, and it have to be your main purpose. Like yeah, you you have to nearly be thinking about it all the time, whether it's recovery, whether it's gym sessions, gym sessions, actual training matches. There's so much goes into it now. So yeah, there would be very little, I would say, between the two.
You have to enjoy it too. Be able to find time to enjoy it. It's not all hard work.
Definitely, yeah. That's the main thing, isn't it? Like so, and yeah, you always have to have that balance of never getting too much of it. You have to just pull it back in and say what you're really playing for.
What do you do to switch off?
Um, I suppose at the minute I'm in a lot of primary schools coaching, like so, but you're coaching football at school, so it's not you never really completely switching off about it. But then it's back to what you said, it's enjoyment, and if you're enjoying it, why not keep doing it? You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm loving it at the minute. Like yeah, even getting around them schools, I suppose you can still switch off. You're watching younger players, and it is quite fulfilling seeing them improve week on week, then every couple of months. So yeah, it does definitely have to switch off as much as it's not actually switching off from football.
The under 20 team, you won Ulster in 2023. Is that right? Yeah. So it's a big. So there's a big chunk of that team are coming through. It must be nice to have those lads in the dressing room with you.
Definitely, like was our team in 21 the year after lockdown won it, and then in 23 as well. So the then two teams would be a lot of players at the minute on our senior panel that would have played on them two teams. So to have that familiarity, and I suppose to have that read of players that won stuff as well is a real help too. Like so, yeah, it's a market for us. So definitely not with Lab as well. The club both teams
Yeah,
they know all the players as well.
yeah. And it's funny. It's something that they can relate to in Wexford, and that the benefit of having a management team there for a few years rather than chopping and changing back to square one. Is that something you can relate to, like the whole consistency piece?
Definitely. We've been with the club for us 3 years of 20s, and then last year behind you the seniors as well. So we'd be well used to his methods and his ways at the minute. But so yeah, there's definitely something to be said to keep it the same, and that we would have noticed massive improvements in our game in these last couple of years. So yeah, I think it would be something definitely a positive thing.
How do you how do you guard against kind of fear? Like for an outsider, it might be said that Down, be a bigger disaster for Down not to win than it would be for Wexford because they're kind of. It looks like Wexford are in kind of bonus territory. How do you prepare and not let the fear of losing, interfere with how you prepare for the game?
This is a good question. We've probably been in them situations before as well. But maybe Wexford last year, for example, whenever they're in a Division 4 final, would be in the same position. But it's trying to just not think about it too much. It's trying to just take it as another game. It is an important game, and it's as I said, it's probably the biggest game we've had in 4 or 5 years for our development as a team. So it's just trying to maybe not overthink that factor, and just for what it is, it's a game of football. It's how do we get our hands on balls? We take out how can we score? How can we defend well? Whenever you sort of take that final factor out of it, and you're back to then three main sort of pillars of the game. It's a whole lot easier.
And tell me, just lastly, like, have you noticed is there a pickup in local interest in the crowd? The number going to games down are they're well known for their love of football. So, have you noticed more and more people coming up to you as you've gone on this run and got back to Croke Park?
Definitely, yeah, definitely. Football is massive down like it always has been. Even when we weren't going well, like we still able to get a decent crowd to games. But in the Sam McGuire series last year, like the crowd we were getting the games was something we hadn't experienced before. It was a massive, massive bonus for us. Like the sort of the buzz you get off it on the nearly like it's a massive help for us. Like and I said it's something we've never experienced before. So it's as we said, it's getting more than days, and it's getting more people to get the games again, and just keep building and building and building.
Brilliant. Listen, I wish you the best of luck. That's fantastic. Thank you.